other woman. That sickened me too. Look, if it's some fucking
Don't bring
dude,
the gender thing into
it.
No,
why? Gender can come in any other fucking time. That's an important part of the story. What woman says that to another woman? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's your fucking job, have a fucking heart. You know how hard it is to be a woman? You know how hard it is to be a fat fucking woman? And you're going to say that shit to her? Find another way, or don't say it at all, or quit your fucking job, or change the policy. And that's what I'm more interested in now. I'm never flying this fucking airline again. But after that moment with that girl, I was like, you are kidding me. She goes, no. She said that, it's not fair to other passengers who pay for seats, and they should get all the space that they deserve.
And I said, conversation.
You're sitting in a row. There's an empty seat. I said, I bought 2 seats. And she's going, well, she said that I would have to ask you if it was okay. I said, you are out of your fucking mind. She goes, no. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody fucking said that to you, man.
Yeah.
But saying it when she knew that that the whole flight is not packed, A, and B, more specifically, the aisle that she's chosen, the aisle that she's sitting in, with me, there's a seat between us. We're not even close to touching.
Completely
and you should hear
unnecessary.
this poor girl talking to me going like, I could still pull down my armrest. We're having this conversation, two chubsy-ubsies talking about how proud we are to still pull our armrest down. And you can tell it's the only fucking shred of dignity that she's got in that moment of time.
Right.
And I'm trying to make it like, hey, trust me, you're doing well. I got booted off the last fucking flight. That's how fat I am. You know how fat I am? You know how fat Kev Smith is? Too fat for this guy. I just read that on Twitter. But my heart broke for her, man. Right. Really. That's when I lost it. All that shit before I was in the airport tweeting about Southwest, it's just like, fuck them, fuck you. And I'd say it up, right, fuck you. And it's all a big fuck you, scorching the earth, because fuck you. Once I talk to that woman, now I'm on a mission. Fuck these pricks. I hope they change their policy.
Right.
Because that's the thing. I don't want the company to go, you give me in a weird position, right? Because it's like, you don't want the company to fail because there's a lot of jobs. And like, not everyone's the asshole that fucking broad was, the stewardess to this poor chick.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, something's got to change. Some justification should be made. Or maybe it's just as simple as, you know what? Vote with your wallet, cats.
Right.
Vote with your wallet. Never mind, I don't want to raise a boycott. I'm not going to kick up. Obviously I've kicked up a stink. But my whole thing wasn't about, when I was tweeting from the airport, before I got on that plane and met that girl and heard that fucking story, that was just fucking like, hey, fuck them. I could do this. I've got a lot of followers. It's funny, and this is the only way I could possibly own the humiliation they just fucking put me through, is to make some jokes about it. That's what I do. That's how I survive in this world. But that was it. I wasn't interested in fucking take on the corporation. When I heard that fucking story, something happened to somebody else in the span of 2 fucking hours, unnecessarily.
Right.
That's it. Fuck these people. I'm urging you people, if you look like me or you're fatter than me, this is how you're treated on Southwest. Now, this motherfucker on Twitter, like I said, I'll eat out of that story. And also, I can fucking choose other airlines. You know, it's just that's not a problem whatsoever. And that's what people are like on Twitter. They're like, oh, fuck it, man. Just go to JetBlue. I was like, you're right. JetBlue flies out of fucking Burbank, too. I will happily fly JetBlue. And fucking, I'm sure there's another airline that fucking flies to Vegas out of Burbank. And if not, I will drive my fat ass out to LAX, where never once has anybody been like, you're too fat to fly on this plane.
I know. JetBlue. I think we just bought 10 tickets for the family to fly back east on JetBlue. Yeah. Go JetBlue.
Absolutely. I hate to say on my grave, too fat to fly.
Sound go crazy.
It is. It's TFTF. That's what you're going to call me. You're going to call me Tiff Tiff. That's going to be my new name. What's up, Tiff Tiff? I'm like, what's Tiff Tiff? They're like, too fat, too fly. I'm like, oh, you're right. According to Southwest. Oh, that's the thing. If it was a bullet that I earned, I swear I would take it and be like, all right, folks, I guess it's time I start losing a fucking weight. This was not the case. I'm not saying it was vendetta.
It was just unjustifiable.
It was completely unjustifiable. Mm-hmm. But I am so curious to see what their explanation is. Like that dude Eric is going, we'll be conducting
not going to be any explanation.
He goes, we're going to be conducting a full investigation. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, well, we're going to find out what really happened. I was like, dude, I told you what happened.
Right.
And Suzanne told you what happened. She said the captain said that I had to get off the plane. I was like, do you believe her? And he's just like, well, yeah. But I was like, well, then there is no explanation. The captain told me to get off the plane. But the question, Eric, is why?
Right.
Because I clearly did not. I said, was I violating? I kept saying this at the desk. I said, would you tell me, was I violating some sort of FAA regulation? And they're like, no. And I was like, are you sure? Because that seems to be the only reason to eject me off the plane. There are terrorists that get on the fucking planes. And I get asked to get off because some fucker goes like, yeah, you're too big for that seat. Yeah. When I wasn't? Oh, shoe bomber. They treat me like a goddamn shoe bomber and shit like that. That's who they're saving this country from.
Let me.
Fat me. Because that's how I'm a terrorist, and how I terrorize is by sitting next to you on the plane and throwing my flab onto your knee or some such shit.
Oh my. Do you...
Fucking Southwest. They got hearts on shit at Southwest Airlines. They're telling me like we can give you a voucher for our love program. I'm like, love? You just booted me off a plane because I was too fat, and yet I'm not. You know, and I can't tell you how many times I was like, lady, I know I'm fat. Trust me. But I ain't fat enough to be thrown off this plane yet.
Stop yelling.
I can't help it. I was so fucking...
Harley's sitting downstairs going, what the hell happened
Harley's sitting
now?
downstairs with a friend of hers from visiting from the other side of the country. And she's like, her friend's probably looking at her like, what's going on? And Harley's just like, I'm sure my dad just got thrown off a plane for being too fat. This motherfucker's always getting into some problems with his fat. Listen, going, that is the point of this, Kevin. If you weren't fat, none of this would have happened. That's not true. I mean, look. I think some people are just shitty and want to be shitty, and you give them license to be shitty by being like, look, you can, fucking not make fun of, but you can fucking approach fat people and tell them blah, blah, blah.
There is no way to kick up a storm on a plane anymore. People who work on the airlines can treat you any way that they want to.
Yeah.
Because you will leave in handcuffs, whether you are in the right
Believe me, I was thinking about it. When I was sitting there fucking at the front desk arguing, she brought the manager over, I was just like, look, I know where my tone goes, and it's never threatening, but it's up. You could tell that I'm concerned.
But if you would have been like, my seatbelt's on, my armrests are down, I'm not getting off this plane, they would have taken you off.
Oh, no shit. Like, could you imagine if I was like, I ain't moving?
Totally.
mean, they would have used that dog stick on me with the loop on the end and shit. And where like all of a sudden I'm like, no!
So they take all kinds of abuse and disrespect from the airline employees. Because we have no option.
But it's not even just that. It's like you read stories too about like somebody in a plane is, in the air is acting weird or belligerent. Now, based on September 11th. So like there's that. Like if I can't sit there and be like, I'm not getting out of this seat for fear some motherfucker like fucking punches me in the back of the head because I'm a quote unquote terrorist or something. But fuck them. Fuck Southwest. I guess that's the point of this. I'm sorry. I'm just spinning my wheels at this point.
And I really have to go to the bathroom.
That's the best time to... I think of no better reason to end Smodcast. I swear next week's Smodcast will be funny and wacky and entertaining again. But in the meantime, sorry. I just have to get that off my chest.
And you did the right thing by doing so.
Thank you. All right. That's Smodcast for this week. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Jennifer Schwalbach.
Have a good week.